What's up everyone, my name is Effie. In this video I'm going to be talking about student accommodation and the 6 things I really wish I knew before I signed my tenancy agreement. I ended up in a bit of a sticky situation where I didn't know my housemate that I was moving in with. Turns out she was a complete nightmare, and eventually I just had to move out of that house. So tip number 1 is actually reading the contract. Sounds like a bit of an obvious one, but I kind of glossed over mine. I just sort of skim read it, didn't really pay much attention to it. But reading your contract and actually understanding what it is that you're getting yourself in for is so important, and it just means that if you read something that doesn't seem quite right or you don't really understand it, it just allows you the opportunity to ask about it and get things clarified before you sign it, and then it's just a done deal. Tip number 2 is finding out exactly what type of contract it is. Now this is something that I wasn't aware of before signing a tenancy agreement. I didn't realise there was more than one type, but it turns out there can be a joint tenancy agreement or an individual tenancy agreement. Now with a joint tenancy agreement, it's between the entire household and the landlord or letting agent. So if one person doesn't pay their rent, for example, it means that it's going to fall on the shoulders of everybody else in that house in order to pay it, which is not a situation that anybody really wants to end up in. With an individual tenancy agreement, it doesn't matter how many other people live in the house or flat, the agreement is between you and the landlord or the letting agent. So if someone else doesn't pay their rent, you're not responsible for that. So definitely make sure that you are not signing up for a joint tenancy agreement. It's not a situation you want to get yourself into. Tip number 3, find out exactly what their policies are on leaving the tenancy agreement early. Now hopefully when you're actually reading your contract, you'll find that particular policy, and if you're happy with it, great. If not, just ask them exactly what their duties of care are to you, especially if you're moving in with people that you don't know. Just ask them what happens if they turn out to be a complete and utter nightmare. Like how many chances do they get, etc. You know, really ask those questions, because you do not want to end up in a situation where you are, you know, tied into living with someone for 12 months who you just absolutely cannot stand. So tip number 4, is it bills included? Now although this won't actually be a deal breaker, it is something that you really need to consider. Just like with an individual or a joint tenancy agreement, you don't want to be liable or have to chase all your friends or other people that you're living with for money to pay their bills. Now don't worry, if you find a house that you absolutely love but it's not bills included, you can always go to a company like Split the Bills, for example, or another utility company, and basically what they do is they take over gas, electric, water, TV, internet, whatever it is that you want, and they will set up a direct debit between you and the other individual tenants in the house or flat. Now I did double check with Split the Bills when I was kind of looking into using them, if it was again an individual contract or sort of a household contract, and they did clarify at the time that it was an individual contract, so I was not going to be responsible if my housemate did not pay her bills. Tip number 5, get everything in writing, take photographs, take videos. This is something that I did do from day 1. As soon as I kind of got the feeling that she was going to be a bit of a problem, when she damaged my property, I took a photo of it, I emailed it over to the estate agents. After every single incident, I would write an email and send it off to them. So basically when it did come time that I was like, you know what, this is enough, I could go through, look at all the emails I sent you, look at all the different things she's done, here's all the you know, the photo and video evidence of what she's been doing, and that kind of really did help support my case to leave. And finally, tip number 6 is that if you do end up in an absolute nightmare of a tenancy and you don't really know what to do, please contact BCU. I got in touch with the Ask desk, I'll put their details here somewhere, and basically they signposted me to the most appropriate person to talk to, and they were so much help. So I really recommend seeking help from a BCU if you need it. So yeah, those are my 6 tips. Till next time guys, see you later, bye.